chose for us, and I was like, oh dear. I think I read the first 2 pages, and it was just it was a little too much for me. And I feel like
it was good, but it wasn't what we were looking for. Okay, so
I
I
know.
think my text to you was it's Interview with the Vampire meets Frankenstein, the literary Frankenstein, not like a movie or something like
Yes.
that. It is
Yeah.
thick. It is
It is. It was like over
crunchy.
1,000 pages, and was so beautifully written and everything. I was like, but this is definitely not what Christina Lynn meant
No,
when she said for
no.
Book of the Month. But I do want to read this series. It looks
I
really
I
good.
haven't gotten rid of it. It's still in my KU lineup. I am very
Yep.
excited about reading it, but it is not our book of the month. Thank you guys for joining us.
No.
Cass
Yes.
saved us with a new book, and she is back for this month's read. Cass, what did you have us
Hi
read?
guys. I had you guys read the 7 Years to Sin by Sylvia Day, and it is the setting. It is a romance, obviously,
Hmm.
but it was written in 2012,
Which is
and
practically ancient now.
it's
Let's.
practically ancient now, but you can tell that it was a time before AI slop because it was actually pretty well written, and I the characters are lovely, and it was actually a little bit spicier than I expected because I kind of so basically how I found out about this book is I was kind of tired of reading just kind of run of the mill romance like grumpy sunshine like the tropey stuff, but searched on Reddit. I was like, I need recommendations for longing. Give me a romance plot with longing, and I need someone to be yearning for somebody else for like 80% of the book. And this one was the number one recommendation. And it was pretty good. What do you think?
I have thoughts.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Okay,
Go for it. So
so
let's just kind of summarize it a little bit. Just like a little summary. It's I don't know which era it's based off of, but it's
this is
definitely um
Regency era. So for those who are absolutely over the head or over the heels in love with Bridgerton-esque settings, that's what this is. This is a Regency era romance novel. I have read quite a
yes.
lot of these in my tenure of a romance reader, um,
Mhm.
but based more of them when I was younger. Like I haven't really hit any Regency. There was a period. Okay, hold on. Story time. There was a period where all I read was Regency and medieval romances.
Ooh, okay.
Bodice rippers. Okay, that is
Yes.
all I
Okay.
read. And I would actually like steer myself clear of contemporary romance at the time because I was in high school and I still to this day believe that I was born in the wrong era. I'm very thankful that I was born in this era because otherwise I would
Me
not
too.
be allowed to read books at all. But um,
We have so many privileges at this as a woman in this era. It's still not 100% great, but it's
yeah,
way better. But
but the
anyway,
bodice rippers were my milieu. So those
yeah.
were particularly Regency and medieval. So this fit in with um, 20 early 20 20 or no early 2000s definitely Christina Lynn, that's for sure. This would fit right in for that. But that being said, I had issues with this. I listened to it
Yeah.
Audible. I This was my first audiobook in forever, in probably about 2 years. And it's because we started our read, and I got like probably 50 pages into the book, and I was like, yo, Cass, I don't think this is what we were looking for. This is very good, but this is not what we were looking for. And here's the
Nope.
thing, I forgot to like tell people that we were changing books.
Ooh.
So
Oopsies.
My
Sorry.
bad. We will get to the Vampire Empire thing at a later date when we maybe go
We should.
into our fantasy type reads. Right now, we are still working on our sci-fi. Our the book was better reads. We do have a plan to bring in fantasy reads and discuss those that are not romances, but that one's going to get shelved for that, I think. Because it was really good in those 50 pages. I was like, I don't want to stop reading this, but we don't have time to read
Nope.
this and then something else. So Cass is like, we should read this
Uh,
one. And I got it for Audible. Um, and I listened to it on 2 times speed. So I
nice.
listened
You
to it
got
at
it done
work.
quickly.
I got it done very quickly.
Mhm.
So yeah, Regency era. I will agree that there is longing. But I will say this, the sub story is much better than the story.
I agree. I do too. That sub story is very cute and very sad at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you understand the reason why she stays with the guy, but also the subplot love interest is very different from the main character's love interest
This is the
and a little
first
bit
time
more
I've
proper.
seen something like this where we have a story
Yeah.
within a story that's not like I was just discussing this with my husband not too long ago how there's always these background characters and there's something going on with them. But
Hmm.
this one actually took a forefront to
Yes.
basically what background characters are doing and it's highlighted because instead of just going from our female main character to our main male character, we have female main character, male main character, subsequent female secondary character, and a
Hmm.
subsequent secondary male character, and they have
Hmm.
equal spotlight through the entire book. And the book's only what, like 300 pages long?
Yeah, it's like 340 something, pretty quick.
Yeah, it's
So
really, really
yeah.
quick in the scheme of things. And honestly, I was like, okay, let's get done with Alistair and Jessica because I want to get back
Yes.
to her sister and her brother-in-law, meaning
Hmm.
her
Hmm.
husband's brother, who is
Yes.
not Alistair.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I loved Michael.
He was endearing. He was really
Yes.
endearing. Honestly, I don't think the female main character was all that interesting.
No, she was kind of one note as far as how she feels. There, like I said, like you said, actually, I think the main character plot is kind of what you would expect of these lovers being very passionate about each other, but are worried about how it is viewed publicly.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a widow, a recent widow, and
Yeah.
she just doesn't want to, even though, like, in reality of that time, it probably wouldn't have been that scandalous because it sounds
Mm-mm.
like it had been a year
Yeah.
and this guy is wealthy. He's not some, you know, I don't know. It
Degenerate. He's
didn't
not
seem
some
all, it
well, I
seemed
mean, he is a degenerate,
not
but
a little bit, but he's not publicly a degenerate, and he's
yeah.
also a self-made man, and she is, even though she is a lady, she's not some, she's not a princess or anything
Right.
like that. And it just seems a lot more tame than it could have been. I
Oh
don't know. The
yeah.
stakes were not very high.
Not for them.
The stakes, not for them. For the other couple, however, the stakes were
Well,
high.
they were
So,
huge. I could not get past the fact that a majority of the story. Okay, this is just probably my
lay
problem.
it on me.
Probably this is a me problem, and I want to preface this by saying that I realize that I have become more cynical the more I've read, highlighted by the fact that my husband pointed it out. yesterday, I was like, I don't like this book so much, I think. And he's like, I think you just read yourself stupid. Like, you just read too much and nothing
It's
will
like so
satisfy
much
you now.
media. It's being like funneled into your brain and rotting your brain, maybe.
Yeah,
It
he's
could be
like,
a little
I've
bit of
just
brain
become
rot.
more cynical. The
Mhm.
critic has become more cynical. How about that? Uh,
Yeah.
it's just there. Okay, my problem is how time is usually relayed in these stories. Thankfully, there's not flashback, flashback, flashback. The
Mhm.
maybe it's just because this is 13 years old and writing has
Yeah.
kind of gone downhill since then. But the
Oh yeah.
flashback happened in the prologue, which I did not need. Like, I don't think the prologue
Yeah.
really helped the story at all. It would have
Wait, oh wait a
been
minute. Are you talking about
the very first
the
chapter when she,
the chapter where sees him?
yes,
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
I
That was what
loved
hooked
it.
me into this book.
I loved
I loved it
it.
there.
Okay, I loved it. But I think it would have done the story better, their story better, if it had been alluded to and never
Yeah, we
shown.
kept it was like a mystery of
Right.
what
What did
transpired.
she see? You know,
What did she see? What was the scandal?
right.
You know?
Because, like, she didn't share it with anybody. Nobody knew but him and her that she was there. It could have, that could have been left out altogether. Like, it didn't really give us anything other than
It was a good
basically
hook. I think it was a good hook.
introducing her husband, which is the only time
Yeah.
we see him. We could have, that could have been like, okay, we could have known that they had a very loving relationship and not needed that scene. Um, we could have known that she knew about Alistair's proclivities without having that scene. Nothing else was in that chapter, in that prologue, that was necessary. Nothing was necessary.
I don't know. I disagree completely.
That's fine.
I
That's
think
fine.
it was
That's
a
just my
good. I agree with you that if they had kept it kind of secret and like he was alluding to what he was into and
mm-hmm.
like the woman that he did end up bedding when he was definitely too
He was
young to bed
16.
her. He was very young, and so yes, I do think that would have been fun
Mm-hmm.
because then they can have the flashback at a different date.
They don't even need a
Or
flashback. I think they could have just discussed it. Like when he was talking about what happened with his family and why
yeah.
he was selling his body in the first
Mhm.
place, it would have been more impactful.
I just like that scene
I
very
get it. I
much.
get
And
it. I get it. I get
I
it.
just said, like, I think it still does a good job of, like, oh, wow, this is where we're taking this story, huh?
But it never
it's a
like
good introduction.
it's a good introduction, but this is I think the crux of the issue is that
Mhm.
that puts our characters in a particular setting of
Mhm.
or characteristics, a set of characteristics that is never visited again.
Revisited. Unfortunately, I did feel a little bait and switched by that
Mm-hmm.
scene
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
I was
yeah.
like, okay,
Okay, so we have
down for this. This sounds
a
great. And then
third
chapters on,
son
we're like, oh,
of
it's
a
very vanilla.
nobleman of a
Oh, sad.
duke and
Yeah.
he's a gigolo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's never
Yes.
revisited. I'm just like, oh.
Yep.
Oh, I was ready for this to be kind of a little bit
Mhm.
titillating and exciting and
Yes.
now he's just
Like
a
the
shipping
only
magnet. Okay.
because it was like, oh, if he's into voyeurism, yeah, spoiler alert, but if
Right.
he's into that, why wasn't that revisited again
Right?
with I don't know anybody on the ship or
Anybody.
maybe
And they
there was
spend
not really a
so much
lot of
time on the
conflict on the
ship.
ship. There
Yeah.
was not a lot of conflict on the ship at all.
There's
Everybody was just
there's
cordial and
not a lot of
nice with everybody.
conflict. There's not a lot of conflict in their
There was
story
to it all.
at all. All of the
No.
conflict is the secondary characters, which is why that story is more interesting to me.
Exactly.
There's a better
Exactly.
plot in the secondary characters than there is in our main characters. Main characters have maybe like what, 4 spicy scenes, if that,
Hmm.
in the whole of the book, and that includes the fade to black in the prologue and the scene where she gets introduced to Alice. Well, not introduced because she already knows of him, but introduced into
Yep.
him being a gigolo.
Hmm.
The only other thing is just the fact that she can't have kids, which I did appreciate. I was very happy to be seen that she couldn't have children. And it wasn't like, oh, a miracle baby at the end. And the
I was very relieved with that. I was like, oh, is this gonna be a miracle baby story? Because I am so done. I'm so
so done
done.
with the
I'm
miracle
out.
baby. Now,
I'm out.
I have I do read a lot of breeding romances, so I mean, I can't say that I'm like totally thrilled that, that there wasn't one at this time, because usually I'm like, oh yeah, it's a breeding story. Okay, got it. There's going to be a
Right, right,
pregnancy.
right.
But the fact that this one, very beginning, barren, quotes, heavy
Hmm.
quotes there, barren woman stays barren. Like, okay, that's refreshing. It's refreshing.
Yep.
Because usually a barren woman, oh, I can't have children. Oh, I can't have children. How am I pregnant? Well, you
Hmm.
see, when the swimmer meets the ovum, kind of, yeah. None of
Hmm.
that in this one.
Oh, speaking of terminology, I I don't know if I appreciate or am I disgusted by the use of anatomical language during the sex scenes, because I'm just like, I'm so
Oh,
used to
yes.
in contemporary romance them saying, oh, his length, oh, her folds, oh, her this,
Right?
and I'm just like, okay, penis, or vulva, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, okay,
Okay.
I think this is
So
okay, but also I
I
don't
have a
know.
theory. I have a theory, and it actually kind of works for this.
Mhm.
I didn't like it at first, but then I kind of got into it. First of all, we're in third person.
Yep,
I'm so happy about that. This
I
already
know.
has
It
a
was great.
star on top of it because it's in third person. My biases will never go away. Second is it was written like an Austen novel.
Hmm.
Like, is very, we don't have long-winded descriptions of rooms and people's clothing, for Christ's sake, and like, she did this
Unnecessary
or
stuff.
she did that. No, it's a lot of conversation, and I appreciate that. It is
Double
written
thumbs up for that for me.
like an Austen, which is perfect considering the setting. Austen is Regency.
And like the dirty
This
talk is good.
It's so
It's
good.
good.
It's good.
I'm just like, just give me more of that, please, more. I don't care about what the room or the bed looks like or the way he
Right.
carried her. I just want more
Don't
back and
tell
forth,
me,
witty back and forth.
what
Yes.
skirt length she's got. It doesn't matter. Uh,
Stupid
it's
info.
it's
So
padding.
anyway,
As I hit my mic, it's padding, and I hate it
it's
so
padding.
much. But I appreciate this. It was written like an Austen, but it had smut in it. There were a couple of times, like, I was listening to this at work. It
Yep.
was, I think, Audible said it was going to be like a 12-hour listen. I listened to it like on a 2 times speed, so it was actually done in about 5 hours 45 minutes, something
Not
like
too
that.
bad. Yeah.
Um, I had to stop typing at one point because of the dirty talk.
You're
It
just like,
was,
oh,
it was
I'm
so good
distracted.
because it wasn't the same kind of stuff that I usually read.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think so Audible has it, and they got a
Mhm.
British woman. I want to say a British, like,
Yes.
um middle-aged woman, and given that our character is an older female main character, not within the 19 to 24 bracket. She's actually closer to her 30s.
She's like 27.
Yeah.
27 to 28,
He's
something
younger
like
by like 4 years. He's like 23. What am I talking about? He's like 23.
Yeah.
It was so good to hear a more mature voice reading this with a British accent, which did lend to the text very well. And to hear that there was a younger male main character. Total, like, already really, really good. Is much different than what we've read before. I could talk about this book and the ways that it was good and the ways it was bad, and you gotta jump in here.
No book is perfect. So, okay, I think we're done talking about the main book. Did you enjoy how it ended? No.
No. No.
I'll answer for you. No.
It took me too long. No. I had to think about it because it was so unsatisfactory.
See,
the lead up to the end was fine, but the actual ending, the epilogue was trash.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I like the ending for the subplot.
Yeah,
I do not like the ending.
I think it was
for
a little
the main
rushed,
characters,
though.
because I was just both felt rushed. I feel like
very rushed.
I feel like both of these stories could have been fleshed out a lot more and have had more conflict in characters, and they could have added more story to this, in my opinion. And honestly, when I talk about the longing and everything, I thought it would have gone on a little bit more before they started actually having sex, because I was like not disappointed, but definitely, I guess, a little disappointed.
Okay, so the majority of this, the main story happens on the boat, and it's quickly over. Then they're on the island, and then they're off the island, and they're back in London again. And it was just like, what was the point? What was the point? This reminds me of, I get so much shit when I say this. This reminds me of Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh my, okay.
It's a giant U-turn. That whole movie, this whole story was a giant U-turn. Like, the whole point of her going there was to try and start her life over. She wanted to see what her husband, because her husband left her this one property, was not entailed to be left to his brother should he die, because they didn't have kids. She was going to go see about it, see what needed to be done, and possibly sell it.
Because of the subplot?
Right. Stay there. Even better.
Also, if she was worried about her sister the whole time, why would she ever leave? Why do the trip at all?
She could have sent her man. That was what solicitors were for at that time. You sent your man. Somebody...
And I'm pretty sure they discussed this in the beginning of the book.
They're like,
why is she going alone? You know, why is she doing it on her own?
Because she was like, I need to do this. I need to, like, get out of my rut. Cool. You've been in mourning for a year. Totally understandable. She was there for like 2 weeks and then left again. And we didn't even get to see any time that they spent on the island together.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like, they were there and then they warped back home. I was like, what? I felt like there was supposed to be more story.
It's supposedly a 6-week trip one way. So she was gone for 12 weeks. That's 3 months. How did she, not have any, it was all smooth sailing. I didn't understand it. The whole way. Smooth, that doesn't make any sense. You're going from London to the West Indies. You're going to Jamaica. There's going to be some tropical storms. Something. There was absolutely no conflict on that entire journey. It was like the journey... This is probably what it was. The journey was there just as a framework to allow uninterrupted smut.
Yes.
And the actual story was the sister and the brother-in-law. The
So
brother-in-laws. Because there's two of them in this
I
particular subplot.
the cover that I sent you was the cover that was from the Libby. So that one's like the book cover. When I saw the book cover for the audiobook and it said in the left-hand corner inspired this story that is inspired a different book, I looked into that one because I had a feeling, given that this was written in 2012, that it was a not completely, but it was going to be a 50 Shades clone. And the
Really?
book that inspired, here, let me look it up on my phone real quick, because it says it inspired this book, which is oh, I won't be able to open it. One second.
No, you're
Stand
fine. You're
by.
fine.
Why? Okay, library. Inspired. Bared to You. And then I looked into that one and it was definitely 100% a clone of 50 Shades. And I was just like, oh, that's pretty interesting. I do kind of see that kind of inspiration here because they allude to a little bit more kinkier stuff, especially when they talk about dominating and stuff. But I was like, okay. But they went extremely tame with it, unfortunately. Maybe it's because I'm desensitized or whatnot, but I have never read 50 Shades, so I don't know how bad they are. I've heard that they are.
Yeah, they're awful. I have them. I think I have all three. I might have lent one out years ago and never got it back. So that's why you don't lend books,
No
apparently. Everybody says you don't lend
Yeah.
books, you gift books, because you're probably never going to get them back. The only person I actually lend books to anymore is you.
I have a stack of books from you that I want to give back to you.
Oh yeah, we should do
I
that.
have them in a bag, ready to go. But
So
I thought that was interesting.
Honestly, I didn't pull a lot of 50 Shades vibe from it. But I could see where like there were instances where she was surrendering to him, and I could see that kind of dynamic maybe needing to be fleshed out a little bit more. But honestly, the only conflict I saw that should have been fleshed out more, there was only one conflict, honestly, between in their story in particular, and that was when he came back, found out that all of his siblings had been killed in illness, in smallpox.
Yep.
How did all of his brothers get smallpox? They were all older. He was the youngest. He was the affair baby, okay?
Yep.
How did all of his brothers get smallpox and not his parents? How were they all like, was it a puppy pile situation?
Yeah.
You know, like
an incestuous puppy pile.
I wasn't going that far, but like maybe they were all like with the same dancer. That was how they politely called ladies of the night, where they were usually ballerinas. So were they all with the same dancer? And
maybe
like all three other brothers gone. So he ends up with the title that his not father has. And of course, this is where the only conflict comes in. During their whole voyage overseas to Jamaica, they little bits come out about her upbringing, a little bit comes out about his. He admits that I don't look like my brothers. I was an affair baby. My father has never allowed my mother to come back from that. And because of that, I was not treated well. And that's why you saw me in that compromising position, is because that's the only way I could afford to live my life, was by having these illicit for-profit affairs with older women of the ton. Cool backstory. Loved it. Should have run with that the entire way.
I know. I don't understand.
I don't get it. But that is the conflict with his family. Cool. When he comes back, he finds out that he has inherited his brother's title and will inherit his father's title. His, quote, father's title. And he has set his sights on this widow who has a little bit of land of her own, which is in Jamaica, is a noble woman, also a woman of the ton, but his mother's like, are you sure you're now going to be a duke? You should probably set your sights higher. And he was like, why? There should have been more pushback. There should have been more pushback
I
in
agree.
that, considering
There was none.
the time frame that this was set in, and the conflict within the family dynamics. The fact that she couldn't have children would have ruled her right out, and the fact that she was a widow would have ruled her right out. He would have never been able to marry her.
Yep.
And his father, being a duke, would not have been able to allow her to marry into the family. All he did was stood up and said, I'm doing this, and walked out, and it was fine. It was fine. I was just like, I mean,
Okay.
great that his brother's wife, who also survived the smallpox, was pregnant with with a child. So at least the line will continue. Great. Don't know how that works out. Which it just leans more that it came from a paramour or something like that. But
1000%.
still, that would not have been allowed. Not
I
in
know.
Regency Britain.
I just think the ending, like you said, was very rushed, and it was just a whole plot device to get them to have a little bit more conflict in the end after they had all fornicated and done everything. And
yeah, it's just not a satisfactory ending, and what
not.
little satisfaction you got in the ending, because they ended up together, yay, happily ever after, all that kind of bullshit, was swept away by the prologue. By the epilogue. I'm sorry, not the prologue, but the epilogue.
So
it's like 2 years later, and everybody's just having a picnic, and father is okay with everything. No,
definitely not.
No.
Maybe it was the magical dance that they had on the ballroom floor together, that with the red dress, that everyone just was like, oh no, they're meant to be. We don't care about, propriety anymore, and etiquette, and
I also have a problem with the red dress, because it was not Regency era. That's not Regency at all. The style for women.
Because didn't they say off the shoulder? Like, the way that it was written, I was like, that would not fly at all. They would someone would have rushed and put a shawl around her shoulders or something, and like, you okay?
She would have been shunned.
Oh, absolutely.
Regency fashions were a very small period of time. We think of the Empire waists, a lot of lawn, a lot of sheers, a lot of soft colors. Because it was an ethereal type of thing that they were going for. Even court dress, even though in the era that we're talking about, the court dress you still had to wear like farthingales, and there was actually a specific pantiers, something like that. You still had to do that. They still incorporated light fawn fabrics and Empire waist. They looked absolutely ridiculous. But
they did. But But it
if
was
you look
all
up some of
for
those historical,
accentuating the tummy and making sure that it's like, oh,
it's
I'm a fertile
hidden. It's really
female.
hidden,
Yeah,
and almost everything
yeah.
looked like
Everything
a
was hidden.
nightgown. Believe it or not, they all
Yes.
looked like a nightgown. So bright red off the shoulders, like, because
I
when
can
it was
see
being
bright
just
red being fine as long as it
as
was like the
accents, but
cut.
maybe not like it wouldn't have been like bright
It
red.
wouldn't
It
have
wouldn't have
just
been
been red.
vibrant. Yeah, it's not going to be
Yeah, it would have
this.
been something
You're
else.
not going to get
No.
this, because red was also expensive as a color,
Hmm.
like
Well,
as a dye.
apparently
Chun-
she had money, but
yeah, but
that part I don't worry about. But
you know, so there are just some things in there that I was just like, because when I was imagining the dress as they were describing it, I was thinking of something corseted, and
mhm,
it'd have to be if it was off the shoulders, like you can't
for
do
sure, things need to
empire
be held
waist.
up
Exactly.
in place.
Yeah. So, yeah, yeah. So we're about halfway. We want to thank
Hmm.
you guys, of course, for joining us. And we
Yes.
want to thank Cassie for making the time to read with us this month. So excited. I
Yay! It
told you
was
guys she would be
fun.
back.
I
She
missed
wasn't going
it.
away. Um,
Yes.
we are closing in on my 300 goal. We're at 279. I did count the Audible, even though Kindle does not. I do count it. So we're at 279. We are talking about a mega episode where we're going to get the co-hosts together, hopefully, and we'll sit and just discuss books and what I have as my top 10 for the year.
Hmm.
Pardon me. Oh my gosh. And my lower 10 for the year, and what we want to see in this coming year of published works. And we hope you
Hmm.
guys join us. It won't be a live, but it will be a longer episode possibly, and we can probably get everybody in the same room. So I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Nigel was like, yeah, we should like see if we can't rent out a library conference room or something. And I was like, that
Hmm.
might be something we could
We
do.
can
That
do
would be
that.
really cool. We'd have to get
Yeah.
everybody's computer all together and all these cameras and all these mics. It might be fun.
Yeah. It might be a little rough,
It might be a little
but
rough, but it could
I
be
don't know. I don't
fun.
know. We'll see.
It could be fun.
It would be fun for sure.
Let's see, what else do we have going on? I don't know. Join us on the Discord, of course. We're always looking to have people talk to us about the books that we're reading, recommend books to us for either The Book Was Better, Ink and Asteroids, or The Pretty Little Death. And like I mentioned earlier in the episode, we are thinking about doing a fantasy type discussion, not
Hmm.
romantasy, fantasy. So we're talking like Brian Sanderson, um,
Hmm.
Terry Brooks. Am I thinking of the right one? Or like,
I don't think
husband
so.
said yes. So sort of Shannara, Wheel of Time,
Okay.
that kind of thing. The Stormlight Chronicles, which is one of my
Oh, I'm
favorites.
excited. I have never read them. They're a part of my TBR.
They are
But
good.
it's a lot.
They are good.
Yeah, for the
Um,
romancing. Yeah.
Last time I looked, it's been a couple of years, but because you like audio, look on
Mhm.
the Plex. Cam
Okay.
had Brandon Sanderson on the Plex audiobooks, and they are the dramatized
Okay.
ones. So they
Ooh,
were
those are my
actually really
favorite.
good. I listened to a majority of the second book of the Stormlight Chronicles, and it was on the
Hmm.
Plex. So you should take a look and see if they're there. If they are on your TBR, definitely looking forward to having that discussion, because they are. I got
Yes.
through the Way of Kings is like the first book, and I loved it.
Mm.
And it's a really good series, and it's part of a bigger series. Like it's a series
Mhm,
within a
mhm.
series within a series kind of thing.
Yes.
So, all of that,
How
look
exciting.
forward to. Please join us on the
Mhm.
Discord. We're happy to talk books whenever you guys want to. And we have a AI bot on the channel. And you can talk to it
Mhm.
about books
Ooh,
too. Yeah, I upgraded our
nice.
channel a little bit.
Yay. Bye.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Cassie, I am ready to start these questions. Are you?
Yes.
Okay. So, that is the wrong set of questions. Hold on. Let me find them. Okay. What was your overall rating for 7 Years to Sin?
I give it a solid 3. I'm giving it a solid 3 because I enjoyed it. I wish there were things that were different about it, but I was definitely hooked. And even though it was a little bit of a bait and switch, I still enjoyed it, and I do like Regency era. And I mean, you know my complaints. I wanted it maybe a little bit more kink
Yeah.
leaning, but
Yeah.
you know, what can you do? It's 2012. But
it was the era of Twilight. Let's be fair, okay?
yes,
And
yes.
50 Shades. So even if it had been more kink, it probably would not have been good kink.
That's my point exactly.
I agree. I think it also deserves 3 stars.
Mhm.
There were things that I enjoyed, and there were things that were just tedious.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can, like, because I entered it not knowing. That's the thing about all of these books, why we had to switch books, is because I suggest books that I haven't read yet. If we haven't read them yet, you know, then we can explore them together, kind of thing.
Yes.
And there are so many romance novels. There's bound to be something I haven't read yet, right? So
definitely.
I hadn't even heard of this book until you were like, well, let's read this one. So there were things that I liked about it. Obviously, I loved the fact that the prose was different. That was so nice. It took a little bit for me to get into, but I had just finished something else, and I was in the middle of the new Spit or Swallow book. So
I know. I'm starting that one today.
It's on my Kindle.
I'm excited.
Just charge it up.
I know.
It's all ready to go. I've purchased both of them.
I'm so excited.
I sent you an ugly crying meme for a reason, though, so be warned.
I figured it wasn't going to be a happy ending, given the ending of the first one. So I'm prepared. I am prepared.
I have thoughts about that one, too, that we can discuss later.
Yes.
I'm not going to ruin it for you, though, so it'll be after you read it. Okay.
I'm excited.
So if there are corrections, what would they be?
Corrections, like grammatically or anything like that, I didn't notice anything that stood out to me. I think we already touched on the dress at the very end.
Yeah.
I think that could have been done. And then also you feel that the intro did not need to be in the intro. It should have been kind of sprinkled in or just alluded to.
Or just discussed. It could have been discussed.
Or discussed. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
So,
like anything else glaring?
I think I'm going to go to the subplot because we didn't touch on that too much. That is definitely something you guys should read this book for. Subplot is so good. So good.
It's good.
I think I know the sister stayed because she was in a delicate way, and that was the whole impetus for staying. However, I don't think she should have pushed her sister to go on this trip because she was pushing on it. She was like, no, you should definitely go to Jamaica and figure out about this. Like, make a time for yourself. The whole
bad timing though. Like, why couldn't they push that out like another year when she theoretically had
there
the baby?
was no reason to make her go when she did. I mean, obviously her sister knew about her pregnancy before the whole voyage out. I mean, she was at least 2 months pregnant by the time they came back to London. Or no, I'm sorry, before she left London. So when they came back, she was 5. It was she knew, because those ladies
Hmm.
watched for that. That was the whole reason that you got married to, maybe subpar men at the time, was to
For
do
sure.
your
And keeping up
duty.
appearances too.
Exactly. So I think that should have been, but then we wouldn't have had the whole subplot to deal with. We could have, actually. We still could have dealt with that, because it wasn't
Yeah.
like her husband was a great guy. It's not like he would
No.
have curbed his ways. Um, I know what it is.
I think
We should have dealt with
what?
their father, the girls' father, a little bit more.
I agree. Because he was barely
But
discussed. Maybe
he was
that should have
discussed
been
a
the
lot.
intro.
He was discussed
Yeah.
quite a bit,
Yeah.
but we never saw him or why the
Never.
girls had to make these marriages. There was no real reason that he pushed them into this. It wasn't like they were poor. It wasn't
Yep.
like they were destitute. Like a real Austen novel, those women are always like not in the best financial situations
Right.
comparatively. Let's be frank, those ladies were still pretty wealthy.
They were wealthy, and it seemed like that kind of tension was missing. They needed an actual.
Bad
There
guy.
was some tension in the. There was a tension, of course, in the subplot, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't enough for us to um, suspend our disbelief on why she's still with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
And like, how was it that the Jessica was able to make such a great match? Her husband was so loving towards her that her sister couldn't do the same. Like, it didn't make any
yeah.
sense. Jessica was older when she got married to her husband.
Mhm.
She was past her prime. It wasn't her first outing when they got
Not to
betrothed,
mention, she was found to be barren, which is
right?
also very looked down upon.
Yeah, like it's a failing
Um,
on her part, like she did something.
yeah,
And yet her sister was put out. She made her bow to the queen, which was a thing,
mm,
and then immediately married off. Like she didn't even have a
yeah,
season. Why?
yeah.
So like
They didn't discuss that at all either.
I think the correction that I would have made is I would have had all of the plot, all the conflict with the families flushed out more, made
Yeah,
a bigger reason for all of these other things happening. Because like
mm,
the fact that Jessica had this land, her husband set that aside for her so she didn't have to rely on her father after he passed, if he passed before her. Okay, cool, but we never see the father after the prologue. We
yeah.
don't, like, why what was the reason for all of the childhood abuse, or pushing them into these marriages? Like there's I have questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was a major plot hole outside of obviously
The
the family type
yeah,
bullshit?
there was well, the one that I alluded to earlier was why, like, what reason were they sent out
Right.
at that time, and
Yeah.
also like why? There really
Yeah.
wasn't that. Yes, to get her mind off of things and like to get some fresh air and to experience her childhood home. Sure, but I don't think that was like that good of a reason.
It was paper thin.
Unless,
It was really
and
paper
then
thin.
I don't know. I think she was trying to fill all the plot holes at the very end and like kind of rush it all
Yeah.
together.
Like a quick
Um,
quick Crete kind of fill in for a whole.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll accept that, I guess. the I just, yeah, other than the whole going to the islands and then coming back, I didn't see anything. Oh, With the, let's see.
This is how you know a book is mid, when we're like searching for the, because it's just, it's like bad, but it's not that bad that we have just a
No.
list of complaints.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a mid book.
I don't know. I guess
And
I
I did
feel
look a little
like there
bit
should have
like,
been a lot of show don't tell kind of thing. But I guess because this book was very short, they kind of had to do a lot of exposition and but
but hold on, okay. When we read When Strangers Marry, that was
mhm.
about the same length. Look how
Okay.
much growth, though, and how much we learned, and in that story, it was the same length. It's the
Yeah.
same style, to be perfectly honest. It was a lot of longing
Yes.
in that ended up in a
Yes.
marriage. Of course, that happened about halfway through. But we learned so much about the characters, and I feel like we didn't learn anything about these characters other
Because
than
of
they
the
have.
side characters. We had a lot of really good side characters in that book versus this one.
Yeah, it
Yes,
filled
there
it
really
out.
wasn't.
It filled it out
It filled it
in
out.
a organic kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main story felt Hollywood. The subplot felt like a good book that I kind of
Yeah.
wanted. I feel like the stories should have been reversed. Like the
I
main
really
story should
I
have been the
really want to
subplot.
read that subplot book, that's for sure.
Yeah, I want to read that. I think that one makes a lot more sense. And then also the subplot, because it's so shallow, that makes a better subplot. You know what I
Um,
mean?
so I feel like we've already answered this one, but
Hmm.
romance, smut, or erotica?
It is a romance.
Yeah. I love how you say that in such a depressed and resigned way. It's a romance.
Okay. It is definitely, and it's definitely erotic. There's a lot of talk about sex, and I probably it leans more erotica.
Erotica or smut?
Probably. Oh God, I have a hard time answering this one.
Because like when I think of erotica, I think of Story of O or the Claiming of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sleeping
yeah.
Beauty. That's
No.
just
Okay.
straight
It's more
porn.
smutty. It's a smutty romance. It is a romance.
Yeah. That leans smut.
So
It's a
that leans smut.
romance
It's a middle
smut
of the road to
cusp.
me. It's a yes. It's a cusper. It's in the middle of the road. It leans that way, but then yeah, there's a lot of sex in it too. So I feel like if someone who was looking for a romance novel and not a smut, this is you will not be happy.
Yeah.
But and then vice versa. If you're looking for a smut, this is less that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of both. So
All
yeah.
right. So do you have a freebie question?
I don't. I don't. I really am bad at preparing those questions, and I can't think of anything right now because I think we covered everything that I
Everything.
wanted to talk about.
I have okay, so
So
I do have a freebie question, and it has to do with the epilogue.
okay.
It's been like 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't ever remember the sister's name. Such a better story.
Esther.
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 Hester, yes.
Esther.
Hester is shown walking around with her child quietly, with Michael following behind her, also
Mm-hmm.
quietly, hands behind his back, just being there for her.
Yep.
Why haven't they moved forward? It's been 2 years since the whole
Mm-hmm.
brother-in-law. Because remember, there's two brother-in-laws for Jessica. One is her husband's brother, and then one is the man her sister was married to. And
Yeah.
her brother-in-law, i.e., her husband's brother, was in love with her sister, but she
Mm-hmm.
married someone else. She was
Mm-hmm.
pregnant. There's a 2-year-old now walking
Mm-hmm.
around. Why hasn't he made a move? Like, why is she so, like, yeah, her husband slapped her around and stuff like that, but he
Yeah.
also met his end. And I get it,
Hmm.
trauma takes a while to recover from.
Yeah.
I feel like she's leaning on Michael though.
She is. She is.
Like, she's not ready,
But
and
does
shit,
she,
he's still on the tether.
yeah, 2 years is certainly a lot longer than our main character took
Yep.
to get over a loss. Um,
And she
it is kind of
loved
cute that
her
he's
husband.
there. She did.
Yeah.
Um, and it sounds like Hester did also love the person that he was, but things did not turn out that way because he was a raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
So I think him being there is good, but also, I don't know. We want to see a happily ever after, and I guess this is her happily ever after, but you're right. 2 years is a long time.
Like, either cut
Maybe
him loose
she,
or do something. Not saying that she has to get over her
yeah,
trauma. Not at all. Please don't take it that way. And I
no,
probably phrased it incorrectly. But I
yeah,
feel like there should have been some movement in that kind of relationship, especially since she's dealing with an infant or a toddler at this point.
mhm,
Like, and this is a book. It's fake. Like, this was the
mhm,
story I was invested in, and it's him just puppy dogging,
yeah.
and not in an
I just
attractive
don't think
way.
there was as much longing from Hester's point of view than William's. Maybe because she had that conflict with her husband, but
That's
it
fair.
was said that, oh yeah, I am feeling lustful towards him, but
I mean, she was sending him letters, gave
yeah,
him her handkerchief, which was a big deal. Okay.
yeah, it
Like,
is.
that started the whole showdown in the end, you know.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. But that was my freebie question.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess that is the end of this episode, guys. We're gonna go into the. Are we doing a post show today?
Uh, is there something you want to discuss? Because I'm good right now. I
Okay.
think because of what we're gonna talk about later, as soon as I'm done with that book.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Between Two
that's what I
Kings,
want to discuss.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I've been waiting for this book.
Well, it's. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything because I do not want to influence more than I already have your enjoyment of this story. And I know I've
Mhm.
done that before, and I'm sorry. So,
No,
okay,
no, no, no. It's okay.
guys. Well, that is the book of the month for the month
Mhm.
of November. And we read 7 Years to Sin by,
Sylvia Day.
and you can find that. It is being re released, in fact, on Kindle and via paperback and hardback. I don't know why they're re releasing it. It got some
It must
great
be very popular.
reviews. It looks very popular. It looked like it had great reviews. You can find it on the Libby app. We found it on the Libby app as well as Audible. So, if you're interested in reading it, there are ways to do so before it re releases in January. Thank you guys for joining us so much. Yeah, I said that right. I'm going to look
Yeah.
for a recommendation for you before we head
Ooh,
out.
okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm at 279. I better have a
You're
recommendation for you.
so close,
Okay.
girl. I'm so
So,
excited.
so excited. Okay. Are you looking for a monster read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, no, I don't have a monster read for you. This is on my Kindle, by the way, and you should definitely read it. It is called Pretty Little Death is recorded by the Bestie and the critic, edited by the critic, graphics done by the Bestie. All opinions are original and in no way are paid by the author.